That's why I'm more convenient for me.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः रे गा पा सा पा रे गा उदीप ब्रह्मरूप स्वं ज्योतिर्षं प्रभुराव्ययः उदीप ब्रह्मरूप स्वं ज्योतिर्षं प्रभुराव्ययः आरोग्यं देहि पुत्राक्ष क्वचित् स्वक्षामिने प्रभः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
महात्मा गांधी जी के अनुसार परिवर्तन व्यक्तिगत और सामाजिक जीवन में एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाता है और उनके ये विचार आज भी लोगों को प्रेरणा देते हैं और जीवन में बदलाव लाने हेतु मार्गदर्शन प्रदान करते हैं। गांधी जी के इन्हीं सुविचारों के साथ चलिए आज के कार्यक्रम का प्रारंभ करते हैं।
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome you all to Desh Aur Hum 3.0, an exciting initiative brought to you by the National Academy of Direct Taxes in association with the esteemed Salwan Education Trust and hosted by Lotus Valley International School, Noida. As we embark on this orientation program, let us reflect on the powerful words of Margaret Mead, and I quote, "A small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has."
This quote beautifully encapsulates the essence of our event. Desh Aur Hum 3.0 brings together a diverse group of individuals, students, educators, leaders, and visionaries, each committed to the betterment of our nation. It reminds us that meaningful change often starts with a small group of dedicated people who believe in a cause and work tirelessly to make a difference.
This year, Desh Aur Hum 3.0 focuses on the theme Sachet Bharat, Samridh Bharat, empowering nation building, aiming to create a brighter future for our nation.
कहते हैं बदलाव की ब्यार जब चलती है तो हर दिशा में नए सवेरे का उजाला फैलाती है। आज हमारे साथ यही नया सवेरा सचेत भारत समृद्ध भारत विषय के रूप में उजाला फैला हमारे राष्ट्र को उन्नत और सशक्त बनाता है।
And today, we celebrate the importance of tax education and the role it plays in fostering a well informed society.
It is Desh Shah Sir. Sir is an esteemed officer of the Indian Revenue Service. Sir specializes in assessment, investigation, international taxation, and transfer pricing. A chartered accountant with an LLM in international taxation from the University of Business Administration in Vienna, Sir is also a reputed speaker at the NADT and various professional associations, which include Direct Taxes Regional Training Institute, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Direct Taxes Professionals Association, the Bar Council, and the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce, to name a few.
Sir has represented India at the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development headquarters in Paris for the Base Erosion and Profit Sharing Committee on International Taxation and has served various central board of direct taxes.
We are also honored to have with us Shri Paramjit Khanna Sir, Secretary, Salwan Education Trust. We request our Director Principal to formally welcome Sir.
It is our proud privilege to have distinguished dignitaries from the National Academy of Direct Taxes, Regional Campus, Delhi. We have with us today Shri Sunil Gaur Sir, Assistant Additional Director of Income Tax, Srimati Kiran S. Anand Ma'am, Assistant Additional Director of Income Tax, MD Sarul Hassan Sahar Sir, IT Inspector.
We are also honored by the presence of Captain Richa Sharma Katyal, ma'am, Principal, Salvan Public School, Mayur Vihar. Salvan team, principals, vice principals, teachers, and participants from various schools across NCR.
Also connected virtually with us are the teachers and students from other parts of India. We welcome you to the orientation program of the National Academy of Direct Taxes, Desh Aur Hum 3.0.
May this light guide us towards the path of learning, growth, and unity. The young Lotusians will now showcase a captivating performance of Kuch Kar Jaye and Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore, expressing their poetry through a dance interpretation.
मैं कुछ सपने लेकर हर जेबों में आशाएं दिल में है अरमान यही कुछ कर जाए कुछ कर जाए मुट्ठी में कुछ सपने लेकर हर जेबों में आशाएं दिल में है अरमान यही कुछ कर जाए कुछ कर जाए Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where the world has not been broken up into fragments, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father. Let my country awake. My Father, let my country awake.
Thank you for that beautiful performance. It truly emphasizes the themes of determination, courage, and the desire to make a meaningful impact.
To formally begin our event, we are delighted to invite respected Shri Paramjeet Khanna Sir, Secretary, Salwan Education Trust, to deliver the welcome address. Please join us in giving Sir a warm round of applause.
Shri Mahesh Shah, Principal ADG NADT, and his wonderful galaxy of his team from NADT, Dr. Ruchi Sethi, Principal, Lotus International, and all the other principals who are witnessing this wonderful orientation program, and not to forget the lovely children who are my heartthrob, who are the heartthrob of this nation. And from there, we take on the message. We had the invocation just now. We had the conscious taken out. We lit the lamp and we tried to raise something from inside our conscience. That is the whole problem in our country. We have a lot of spiritual leaders. We manufacture them by the dozen a year. We go and teach the world, the spiritual gurus and everywhere. But when it comes to practicing that conscience, that becomes an issue with ourselves. The ethical standards, the morality. Now you must be wondering, we are looking at the orientation program and why am I talking of ethics? Because that is where the root cause remains. I am very happy and proud to announce the orientation for Desh Aur Hum 3.0, which means there have been earlier Desh Aur Hum 1.0 and 2.0. What is this all about? We try to sensitize the children and then basically the parents through the children to know the importance of compliance with tax laws, tax obligations, and payment of your taxes. Why should I pay income tax? I have worked hard the whole day. I burned the midnight oil. It's my money. Why should I give it? That's where the borderline comes, and that's where the conscience comes into play. We all must comply with the law. But before that, you might become a good doctor, a good engineer, your ambitions par excellence. You could become a brilliant architect, anything you could become. I'm not caring. What I'm caring is that first you become a good human being. And the quality of a good human being, that you are a good citizen. You know, there have been instances where, like, you're sitting on the back seat of the car and your dad is driving and there is a red light and he jumps the red light. Dad, what are you doing? You're jumping a red light. Are kuch nahi hota. It's okay. Nobody's looking. It's fine. That's where the importance comes to us. That's where the conscience which we have invoked. And then it travels to everywhere. Pan character. Suppose you want to go and buy your medicines. You tell the chemist, this is my list, the doctor's prescribed. He makes a stack of the medicines and he says, bill mat banao. Chalta hai. Bill क्यों नहीं बनाओ? Because अगर मैं बिल बनाऊंगा तो उसमें taxes लगेंगे और वो taxes मेरे को नहीं pay करने. Who's looking at? Forget it. That is a temperament which has developed into our character. We people we take pride in violating the law. We take pride that, look, nobody has caught me. It's a cat and mouse game. I have jumped the taxes. I have the tax regime. I made a profit. But whom am I cheating basically? My conscience itself. You know, you may attend as many as spiritual camps and you do spiritual healing and all that. But why do you have to pay tax? Because as a good citizen, as a good human being, you must pay the tax. Now, your next question, what does the government do with the taxes? The taxes go where? They go into the consolidated fund. And that fund is utilized for the development of the country. We need the infrastructure. Like when we go abroad, we say such beautiful stuff there. Don't you think they pay taxes? All we have done in our country is grow by population. We have violated all laws of demographic transition. You know, Malthus' theory of demographic transition. We keep on growing, we keep on multiplying. We keep on, that is the only good thing about India is that the population growth is there. And now the tragedy happens. What is the percentage of the taxpayers versus the total? If you multiply or divide, whatever you want to correlate, the ratio of the tax paying population and the total population, I would say it is 0%. Mahesh ji would definitely agree. It would work out to 0.25%, is as good as zero, which means that who takes care of my infrastructure of the economy? Now, where does the taxes go, by the way? Let us ask ourselves. For the last about 10 years, the technology has become so well. Artificial intelligence is there and data analytics is there and technology is taken over. Today, you have all the modern facilities in our country. In fact, let me tell you, India is shining and is going to overshine in the next 10 years or so. When you land at Dubai airport, you want to change your currency, you go to a currency desk. And there, you know, there were only two currencies available, dollar and sterling, US dollar and sterling. Today, you know what is there? Today, there are 4 currencies over there. Go to the Dubai International Airport, go to the exchange currency counter. There are 4 currencies. Can anybody name them? Yes? Anybody? I'll tell you. Sterling pound, US dollar, euro, and INR. Your Indian currency is there. Your achievements are there. Last month in Australia, about 22 new metro lines were launched. You know, so उसे हमें क्या करना है? How are we concerned with it? Those 222 metro coaches, those which were launched in Australia, they were made in India. That's what I'm trying to convey to you. Could you imagine the Apple iPhone being made in India? Could you imagine the aircrafts are being made in India? All our life we have been importing aircrafts. आप एरोप्लेन में बैठ के जाते हो, it's all imported. When you go in an airline abroad, you'll find an aircraft made in India. That's where our Indian talent is going to be there. Now we ask, where does the tax money go? We all have seen upgradation of the highways. I mean, you can think of going to Bombay by road in matter of less than few hours. Dehradun is becoming closer to 2 hours. From Delhi, I'm talking. You look at the expressways, the underpasses, the highways. Look at your trains. You have been upgraded. Who could think of Vande Mataram? There was recently somebody came from abroad. He traveled in the Delhi metro. He says, तुम्हारी metro तो हमारी metro से अच्छी है. Not only technologically wise, even otherwise, on time. Now, what am I all talking about? I'm basically trying to tell you about the expenditure being made in the public economy. पहले क्या होता था? We would estimate the economy कि हमारा GDP इतना percentage बढ़ेगा. So there were overseas credit rating agencies like Moody's and Diol, Huskin Diols and all these places. They would always downgrade us. हम कहते थे हम 6% से ग्रो करेंगे, तो वो मॉर्गन स्टैनली वाला एनालाइज करके बोलता था now it is downsized to 4.6%. Now that's a thing of the past. Yesterday, the Indian economy growth was estimated at 7%, 7.1%, sorry. And there was this uh, Deloitte, which is a credit rating agency, said no, it is not 7.1, it is 7.3. Now, even the foreign agencies are looking at us and they are upgrading us. We are producing as a country the best people in the world. The best doctor, Indian. The best spaceman, Indian. Everywhere you go, best person is Indian. We have the best brains, let me tell you that. So therefore, once we have the best brains, we don't have the best character. That is why when we go abroad, we find a lot of development over there. And then we say, हमारे देश का कुछ नहीं हो सकता. We think of cleanliness, we only think of cleanliness of our 200 square feet apartment. I have 2 bedrooms. So when I say cleanliness, for me, only my bedroom is my area to be cleaned. What about the street? What about the roads? What about the public places? There in the abroad, you have these dustbins placed outside, the blue, the green, and the yellow. And if you put the blue, if you put in the blue and it was supposed to go into the yellow, there is a fine of 500. I'm really perplexed. We same Indians, when we go abroad, we behave as if we are the best citizens. But when we come back to our country, we've learned how to eat pizza from them. But we've not learned how to put that pizza, that empty wrapper, throw it on the road. That's not done. And that's where our character comes. So therefore, I am always touching your conscience, your character. It is a character building exercise. Try to spark that out and try to empower yourself. Now today, your 70% or so of your population or your electorate is the young people. And that is where we look at the young India as a vision. And as a vision, we look forward for compliance with the tax laws. India has reached the moon. India is going to host the Olympics. India recently in the finance bill, there is a special dedicated platform designed for heritage visits. We are going to become a tourist destination. We're going to spend money out of it. We have so many things to offer to the world. Instead of we spending money going abroad for a holiday, we will find that we are hosting a lot of tourists from abroad and they will bring in a lot of foreign exchange, which we will use it for our own development. But if the taxes are not being paid, then what happens? You go home and start pestering your mom and your dad. What have you shown your return? As an income tax officer, I am concerned with those people who have understated their income or they have not filed the return of income. They are the culprits in the eyes of the law. Now they'll turn back and say, Beta, there is so much of complicated income tax laws and there is tax terrorism. There is no tax terrorism at all. It's all simplified. About 74%, on 31st of July was the last date for filing the returns. 74% or more have opted for the new tax regime, which is promoting a simplification of the tax laws. The finance minister just now, on 23rd of July, when she moved the finance bill, she has also created a window where they're going to look into the Income Tax Act and simplify a lot of things, abolishing a lot of things, simplifying it. In fact, the Income Tax Act is going to look like a small English primer of your school. Anybody, any child could even understand the income tax law. The problem is not understanding it, the problem is of complying with it. Trying to tell that, look, the understatement of income, a loss of income is not the message which we are here for. Desh Aur Hum is a project. It had an astounding success in Desh Aur Hum 1.0 and 2.0. At that time, we were restricted to the little schools around the NCR. Now we are going pan India. We are trying to sensitize the children about the awareness of compliance. I must confess that the new generation is more of a tech savvy, more data driven, and therefore A software does not understand a wrong entry. A software does not distinguish between any big person or small person. If an error is thrown up, there is a red flag. They always a discovery that your income has been short assessed or under assessed, or you have not reported something. We have some data, like you are using artificial intelligence. Even the income tax department is fully equipped and has a artificial intelligence section. From that segment, the data is generated. You ask any chartered accountant, or even if you look at your income tax portal, register your PAN, generate a password, and you check it out. There is a 26AS, there is an AIS, and there is a TIS. All these three forms together captures everything. I, as a practicing chartered accountant, sometimes people come and we look at the saving bank interest of certain accounts. They say, I don't have this account. But the system is saying yes, because it is PAN linked. And therefore, when you look at the information system, it is stronger than your information system. You can hide a bank account? Impossible. In fact, there are so many transactions which you cannot hide. Can you buy jewelry more than 2 lakhs without a PAN number? Can you book a big banquet hall for a party without a PAN number? Can you buy a motor vehicle without a PAN number? Can you breathe oxygen without a PAN number? That day is also going to come. In a lighter way, I will not drag you more and more. I could talk till probably the cows come home, but my message is loud and clear. Now, this Desh Aur Hum is going to activate some modules, some segments of arranging competition between you. All children will come forward, the schools will come forward. We have a rotating trophy also for the best school. The last rotating trophy is lying with Lotus International, by the way. Obviously, Gurgaon branch. So yesterday I was in Gurgaon, I was addressing them and I told them, don't let the trophy go anywhere. So the more you participate. Now, what are these competitions all about? I will not delve much at that moment. There are various segments like, we touch your human bank, your human talent. We try to, sort of ask you to give us some slogans, some poetry, some nukkad natak. All those details will be shared later on by our principal ma'am. You will have the full software loading up and you load your entries in particular way. And there'll be you're going to make judges' job very difficult. I'm sure the judges will run away when you see the volume of the entries. And this is going to become an astounding success. I wish you all a happy future. And just remember, pay your taxes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that heartfelt welcome. Your words have truly set the stage for an inspiring day ahead. Income tax supports essential public services, fuels national development, and promotes social equity. Grasping the importance of income tax is essential for a responsible citizenship. To provide important insights into its valuable contribution to our economy and society, we are now going to watch a video guiding us about the same.
इस अमृत काल का आह्वान है, मुक्त मातृभूमि को नवीन पान चाहिए, नवीन पर्व के लिए नवीन प्राण चाहिए, मुक्त गीत हो रहा नवीन राग चाहिए, नवीन पर्व के लिए नवीन प्राण चाहिए।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की नवीनता और नवाचार के हर आह्वान को अपनी कार्यप्रणाली की रगों में समाहित कर उन्नत भारत के लक्ष्य की ओर बढ़ता हुआ भारतीय आयकर विभाग आजादी के अमृत काल का एक और वर्ष नई ऊर्जा, नई उपलब्धियों, नए मील के पत्थर और राष्ट्र निर्माण के महान प्रयास में हमारे करदाताओं के साथ नए सिरे से साझेदारी की ओर अग्रसर है आयकर विभाग।
The strong partnership of taxpayers and the Income Tax Department is positively shaping the development of our nation. With the visionary leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister and under the able guidance of the Honorable Union Minister of Finance, the Income Tax Department has spearheaded digital innovations, simplifying the tax compliance process.
Adapting or adoption of technology and efficiently being to put that to use has actually helped in two ways. One, your revenue efficiency, collection efficiency has gone up, and two, people are able to see that there's no discretion which is coming in the way.
Today, our fully online tax system empowers taxpayers to fulfill their obligations with unparalleled ease.
और इसका परिणाम है वित्तीय वर्ष 2022-2023 में रिटर्न की ई फाइलिंग की रिकॉर्ड संख्या 31 मार्च 2023 तक 7 करोड़ 78 लाख ITR दाखिल किए गए, जो कि पिछले वित्तीय वर्ष की तुलना में 6.5% अधिक है। रिफंड इशू करने के उपरांत डायरेक्ट टैक्स कलेक्शन 16,61,000 करोड़ रुपए तक पहुंच गया, जो पिछले वित्तीय वर्ष की तुलना में 17.63% अधिक है। ये बजट अनुमान से लगभग 17% और संशोधित अनुमान से 0.69% अधिक है। रिटर्न प्रोसेसिंग में लगने वाला औसत समय पिछले वर्ष के 26 दिनों की तुलना में इस वर्ष घटकर केवल 16 दिन रह गया। आयकर विभाग ने फाइल की हुई रिटर्न्स की प्रोसेसिंग केवल 1 दिन के भीतर पूरी कर लेने के साथ ITR के प्रतिशत में 100% की उल्लेखनीय वृद्धि हासिल की।
As a result of speedy processing of returns, 80% of refunds were issued within the first 30 days of returns filed, compared to 60% last year.
अनुपालन में और अधिक सुगमता लाई गई। साथ ही आयकर विभाग ने अपडेटेड रिटर्न फंक्शनैलिटी की शुरुआत की। अब तक 34.2 लाख अपडेटेड रिटर्न्स फाइल की जा चुकी हैं।
This resulted in additional tax collection of approximately rupees 3,080 crore. E-verification scheme was started, which provided an opportunity for the taxpayers to correct any misreported information.
इसके अलावा ई फाइलिंग पोर्टल पर नई कर भुगतान प्रणाली TIN 2.0 भी लॉन्च की गई।
Annual Information Statement (AIS) mobile app was launched, allowing taxpayers to view their annual information statement or taxpayer information summary with their PAN.
फेसलेस असेसमेंट और फेसलेस अपील्स क्रांतिकारी प्रत्यक्ष कर सुधार है।
Over 4 lakh faceless assessments and over 2 lakh faceless appeals have been successfully completed in a fair and impartial manner.
आयकर विभाग की इन उपलब्धियों का उल्लेख भारत की माननीय राष्ट्रपति श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू ने जनवरी 2023 में अपने बजट संबोधन में किया और सराहना भी की। आयकर विभाग द्वारा हरित आयकर की पहल की गई, जिसके तहत विभाग की इमारतों और सार्वजनिक क्षेत्रों में वृक्षारोपण कर पर्यावरण संरक्षण की ओर कदम बढ़ाया गया। करदाताओं के साथ जुड़ना और उनकी शिकायतों का समाधान करना विभाग का सर्वोपरि ध्येय है। इस प्रतिबद्धता के हिस्से के रूप में विभाग ने मई 2023 को पेंडिंग ग्रीवेंसेस के निवारण के लिए समर्पित किया।
ई फाइलिंग से मेरी रिटर्न फाइलिंग हुई आसान।
Fast processing of returns and prompt issuance of refunds. What a pleasant surprise!
सेक्शन 80 IAC के तहत मेरी स्टार्टअप कंपनी को 3 साल का टैक्स एग्जेम्पशन देने के लिए इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट को अ बिग थैंक यू।
AIS ऐप ने मेरे लिए अपनी एनुअल इन्फॉर्मेशन स्टेटमेंट प्राप्त करना और अपनी कर देनदारियों पर अपडेट रहना सुविधाजनक बना दिया है।
Thanks to the Income Tax Department for the prompt redressal of my complaint and for ensuring transparency.
Recognizing the invaluable contribution of its officers and employees, the Income Tax Department worked on several employee welfare initiatives.
आयकर विभाग ने समय पर पदोन्नति, बुनियादी ढांचा परियोजनाओं को अंतिम रूप देने और विभाग के भीतर जेंडर रिलेटेड पहलुओं पर ध्यान देकर अपने कर्मियों के प्रति विभाग की प्रतिबद्धता दिखाई है। आयकर विभाग अपने करदाताओं, आयकर परिवार और स्टेक होल्डर्स को उनके अटूट समर्थन और साझेदारी के लिए हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता है।
This journey of transformation shall continue with the dedicated commitment of the Income Tax Department to make the taxation process easy and convenient.
आइए सबका साथ सबका विकास की राह पर हम उन्नत भारत के लक्ष्य की ओर बढ़ें।
We hope you found the video insightful and inspiring. It beautifully captures the essence of our theme, Sachet Bharat, Samridh Bharat, and highlights the remarkable efforts of everyone involved. We are now privileged to have Srimati Seema Dhankar Ma'am, IRS, Additional Director of Income Tax, National Academy of Direct Taxes, amongst us today. We request Dr. Ruchi Seth Ma'am to present a token of our appreciation to Srimati Seema Dhankar Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
It is now our privilege to introduce our keynote speaker, a person whose contribution to the field of taxes has been transformative. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming Shri Mahesh Shah Sir, IRS, Principal Additional Director General, National Academy of Direct Taxes.
Respected Shri Paramjit Ji Khanna, Secretary Salwan Education Trust, respected Director Principal Ma'am Ruchi Sethi, Lotus International School, Principal Captain Richa Sharma, Salwan Public School, Principal Mrs. Sonia Anil Verma, KR Mangalam, Greater Noida, Principal Ma'am Mrs. Krishna, KR Mangalam, Greater Noida West, Principal Ma'am Reena Gupta, CLM Public School, my colleagues from NADT, and young friends, a very good morning to you all. First of all, I would like to place my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Lotus International School for allowing us this opportunity of being amongst you today. It's a pleasure being here. I welcome you all for this Desh Aur Hum 3.0 orientation program at Noida. It's a beautiful campus. I have seen a little bit of the campus, 12 acres in the midst of greenery. I wish I could have studied in this school. So let me congratulate the principal director and the students. They are really lucky to have this school as their alma mater. Now, to start with, Desh Aur Hum. So what exactly we are trying to do in Desh Aur Hum 3.0? As has already been highlighted, it's a pan-India competition of school students, young minds. We want to sensitize all of you about the governance and taxation. Why taxation? Why we all want you to be part of that? These are the critical issues. Because as you are aware that we represent a young India, 65% population of India is up to 35 years. In fact, 600 million, that 60 crore population is within the age bracket of 18 and 35. the most important working force. We are proud to have you guys, such a population, because all other countries in the world are struggling with their aging population. That's why the government's focus is on skilling India. This large population is going to take us forward. We are going to be a superpower in the times to come, in the next 2 decades. We are completely relying on this new generation. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. This is the motto of the government. We want to take you all, the young minds, in this mission, because you guys are agents of change. You guys have fresh thinking. You are absolutely with fresh ideas. You are ambassadors of change. You are innovative. You have great ideas as to how we can transform this country, this vast country having such a large population. So Desh Aur Hum 1.0, we started in 2022. Humble beginning, we covered mainly Delhi and NCR region. Then we tried to increase with a more vigor and reach last year, that is Desh Aur Hum 2.0. We covered around 1,000 students of 11 states. But this year, the Desh Aur Hum 3.0 is on a much, much bigger platform. I'm happy to announce that we have already registered around 400 schools till today. And the number is growing by leaps and bounds every day. So I'm looking forward to all of you, the schools, the teachers, the principals, the directors, for a absolute support in this mission of Government of India. Now, this theme of this year is Sachet Bharat, Samriddh Bharat. Sachet means awareness, Jagrit. Jagrit Bharat. So we want all of you, the citizens of tomorrow's India, to be aware of not only the taxation, but also the governance, the leadership, the community development. We all can make a big change in the way things are happening. Very, very important, because we want to engage all the stakeholders in the process. The students, and of course, through the students, their parents, their relatives, their larger families, their friends. We want to start this mission by which you impress upon, you become a responsible citizen, which is very, very crucial for a nation building. If you are a responsible citizen and you understand the crux of the matter as a responsible citizen of India, what are you supposed to do? That is one of the main purposes of this Desh Aur Hum 3.0. The other thing is, we also want to make you understand not just the duties, but also your rights as the taxpayers. What are your rights? What are your duties? How you should conduct yourself? So this is what is the purpose of this. Salman Education Trust is our collaborating partner for the last 3 years. Salman Education Trust started in 1941. So more than 8 decades of experience in education field. And their motto is value education. What I understand is that, yes, students must be technically and professionally proficient in their work, but they also must understand the value education, responsible citizenship. That is what is required in the education system today. Now, Desh Aur Hum main objectives, what are we trying to do by coming amongst you all? Sensitize young learners about the role. So we want to sensitize you as to your role in the nation building. That is very, very crucial for any country to progress. To encourage creativity and innovation. So what we have seen is that you are fresh with fresh perspective in life. You are very innovative, creative. We want your fresh ideas to send it across the country. We want you all to become the change ambassadors, the change agents, we call it, so that the message is sent across to all the stakeholders. To build a responsible future, we want to build a responsible future because what happens? We want to make you financially literate, financially understanding as to how things are happening. We want to make you understand and go through the critical thinking. Whatever processes we are doing, are we doing it right? Can we do it differently? If we can, then how differently we can do it and achieve the objective of nation building? The nation first, that should be the motto. The nation first and everything will fall in place. Now, why taxes? So we want to sensitize young minds towards paying taxes honestly. What do we mean by that? So it's a duty. As has been said by Benjamin Franklin, there's a famous quote about the taxes, that there is nothing certain in life except death and taxes. So there are only two things which are certain in life. One is death. Of course, we all understand that whoever is born will go one day. And the other certainty in life is tax. So you can imagine how important is the tax. It's the backbone of an administration. No country, nowhere in the world can do without levying taxes. As a nation, you have to collect taxes. Why? Because we need money for the development, for the economic progress, for the security of the country. You will see education, roads, transport. You see a lot of highways, expressways, the trains, metro trains. Even the Ahmedabad metro was visited by the ambassador of Japan. And their reaction after seeing the Ahmedabad metro was, this is better than Japan metro station. And the facilities in India, because we are going for the world-class facilities. We have launched metro projects in all the major cities of India. There are airports. The T3 airport of India is one of the best in the world, in the first 10 airports of the world. Infrastructure, telecom. We have one of the best telecom infrastructures in the world. Where are we getting the money from? Why? Because the money which we collect from the taxes goes in the development, the security. You go to Leh Ladakh, any corner of India, you will find best of the roads, best of the infrastructure. You must be wondering, when we go out somewhere in India, you say, ye infrastructure nahi hai, wo infrastructure nahi hai, ye theek se nahi hai, wo theek se nahi hai. Why? Because we are a developing country. We have a large population to support. We need a lot of money to develop. In this budget also, we are trying to develop the tourism spots, tourism hubs, heritage travel, because a lot of foreigners, especially the Buddhist and all, they travel to Bihar and all. We are trying to create world-class infrastructure so that we get the tourism and of course the income, and India in the showcase. Can you think of one day without electricity, without Wi-Fi, without mobile network? We all are hooked on to so much on this telecom, phones, reels we want to see all the time, YouTube videos, Instagram, WhatsApp. These all are being provided by the taxes we collect. In fact, if you see the statistics, we started in 1860 by the Britishers. The income tax was levied by the Britishers in 1860. And the total collection in 1860 was 10 lakh rupees. Today we are collecting 20 lakh crore. 20 lakh crore rupees is the tax collection from direct taxes. I'm only talking of direct taxes. We are collecting almost 54% of the revenue, tax revenue for India. It's not true that nobody is paying taxes. A lot of people are paying taxes. We have collected 20 lakh crore and a lot of people are filing. Some of them may not be filing returns. We are fixing that. But a lot of people are paying taxes. It's not easy to escape. Trust me on this. Because we are seeing everything. आपने CCTV का ऐड देखा है, ऊपर वाला सब देख रहा है. You know, that is the caption. Salman Khan का ऐड आता है, ऊपर वाला सब देख रहा है. Because there is a CCTV. We are like that. We have all the information. So let me talk about income tax a little bit, because there are a lot of things which, so the income tax department, we believe in use of technology to the maximum. We have revamped the whole system. We are completely relying on the technology. And our focus is completely on taxpayer services. We want to make you aware about your rights as a taxpayer so that you understand as to what you can claim from the income tax department or from Government of India. There is a mission for simplification of taxes, and Paramjit Khanna Sahab has already spoken about it. So we want to simplify the tax laws. It's already simplified, but there is a mission. We are in a mission mode to make it more simplified, to make it citizen-centric, so that they understand as to what are they supposed to do and how are they supposed to comply with the law. We have all the information of yours. The day is not far wherein we will send you the pre-filled form, your return, as to what you should disclose. And we completely believe in non-intrusive taxation system. That means we don't want to call you to our office. Everything is online. You sitting in your office or home or comfort of your air conditioner, you can file your returns, get refunds. We are giving the refunds directly in your bank account. So please be aware that we are there for you for all the times. And ours is a public-centric taxpayer service department. We have also started faceless assessments. You must have seen that, wherein we don't call you for the hearings, for the personal appearances and all. Since we send the refunds to your bank accounts directly, there is also a scam going on wherein you will get a mail or a message saying that your income tax refund has been. Be very careful. Whenever there is any communication in the name of income tax, please check the source. A lot of cyber criminals active in India. Because what happens when after this digital currency, advent of digital currency, आप बताएंगे किसको सबसे ज्यादा नुकसान हुआ है? हमने डिजिटल करेंसी आ गई, यूपीआई पेमेंट्स, गूगल पे, पेटीएम, राइट? सो द बिगेस्ट सफरर, आप कभी सोचिएगा इस चीज को, द बिगेस्ट सफरर और वन प्रोफेशन विच हैज बीन रियली हिट हार्ड आज पिक पॉकेटर्स, जेब कतरा वी कॉल इट. पैसा ही नहीं होता आपके बैंक, आपके पर्स में, आपके वॉलेट में, क्या चुराएगा वो? सो दीज पिक पॉकेटर्स हैव अपग्रेडेड देयर स्किल्स and they have become cyber crooks. तो जो जेब कतरा आपको रास्ते में घूमता मिलता था पहले, आज वो साइबर फ्रॉड वाला हो गया है. So you can imagine the kind of technology they are using, the kind of innovation they are using. अपग्रेडिंग द स्किल्स, तो जेब कतरा इतना अपना आप आपको अपग्रेड कर रहा है. We have brought in the digital currency because we understand that in informal sectors there's a lot of cash involved. Uska solution is this digital currency wherein you pay by UPI, you pay by Google Pay and all that. So things are changing. Things are changing for better, for a better, prosperous India. Trust me on this. Now, young minds, we have come to you to urge you to take part in the mission with us. Be part of the income tax department, to spread the word that we need taxes. We need people to file their returns honestly. Why? Because it's not only a constitutional duty, but also a moral and ethical one. I should pay my taxes properly, whatever it is, maybe 50 rupees, maybe 5,000 rupees. And I must contribute to the nation building. Every citizen should feel proud in whatever is being contributed as taxes, because इसके बहुत सारे consequences, इसके बहुत सारे अच्छे results हैं. आपने देखा होगा whenever there are riots, हम बसें जला देते हैं, सरकारी बसें, सरकारी property को damage कर देते हैं. These are all our properties. What is government properties? They are all of us. We are part of the government. वो हमारी properties हैं. If we are doing that, we are spoiling our own property. कभी आपने देखा है कोई अपनी खुद की property को आग लगाते हुए? But we are doing that because one of the reasons might be that we are not feeling like that. We are not participating in the nation building to that extent. Now, so you have fast understanding as young minds. You have fertile mind, logical thinking. So you guys are future of our nation. That's why I'm standing here today, urging all of you, not only those who are present physically, but all those schools and teachers and students who are online present with us. We want to build a responsible, informed generation. We want all you to understand as to why taxes, how much taxes, what happens when you pay taxes, and you demand as to what is happening with my money. As a citizen, you have a right to ask as to what is happening. We want you to take active part in the democratic process, because India is the biggest democracy, largest democracy in the world, and we must celebrate by taking part in the democratic process. We want you to understand as to how the governance happens. Whoever are the winners, will take them to parliament building to show them as to how the government functioning happens in the parliament, to make them understand, to see them at the first hand as to how the governance, where is the prime minister sitting in the parliament, where the speaker's office, leader of opposition, how this is all happening. So we want you to go to that extent, understand, be with us in this mission, Why you guys? Because you are future leaders. You are future policy makers. We want a much time. We will be retiring in maybe 10 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 15 years. You have to take over. You will become the political leaders. You will become the bureaucrats of this country. You will decide the policy. You have to decide the way forward. It's very important that we engage you from a young age, where you understand as to what exactly is required for this country. You are agents of change, not just for India, even international ambassadors of change. Because it has already been highlighted that what we do when we are in India and what we do when we are outside India is completely different. Why not we follow the same things in India? Why not we take it as our country? We have to build it as one of the strongest nations in the world. You guys are inheritors of nation's legacy. You are going to be the architects of his future. Trust me on this. You guys are the architects of India's future. The national legacy belongs to you guys. You are going to be at the helm of affairs of this country in the times to come. And that's why I'm here, urging all of you to be part of the mission to make India the most prosperous and law-abiding country in the world. I wish you all the best for the competitions. We have designed 8 competitions, which we will be, Madam Principal would be dealing with that in detail as to how and what are you supposed to do. Kept the theme and the focus based on your innovation, your creativity, your fresh ideas. And trust me, we will use that for our advertisement, for our propagation, for our making it familiar with the public, with a clear message that please pay your taxes, pay tax and relax. Right, so don't worry about anything else, just pay your taxes on time and relax. I wish you all the best for the competitions, and I'm only saying that we are trying to unleash youth potential. Unleashing youth potential, because we as Government of India, as Income Tax Department, see that as the way forward for this country. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your profound insights and inspiring vision with us. Your words have certainly given us much to think about.
सही कहा रबानी तुमने। सर के विचारों और मार्गदर्शन ने हमें अपनी क्षमताओं को समझने और उन्हें विकसित करने के लिए प्रोत्साहित किया है। आपके शब्द हमारे लिए एक नई प्रेरणा बने हैं और हमें अपने लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने के प्रति दृढ़ संकल्पित करते हैं।
Now, let's take a glimpse into the passion, creativity, and innovation that defines Desh Aur Hum, the incredible journey of our students who are shaping the future of our nation.
the need of the hour कि हम अपने बच्चों को कर के बारे में, कर के महत्व के बारे में और उसका देश की प्रगति में किस तरह से योगदान होता है उसके बारे में सेंसिटाइज करना।
This initiative by NADT taught me a lot about my taxes. It taught me how to pay my taxes rightfully, carefully, on time, and how our country uses these taxes to develop our nation.
The event was an eye-opener on taxes, which seems to be such an underrated and dreaded topic by adults.
Revealing the significant role that the taxes play in shaping the foundation of our nation.
I pledge to fulfill my tax obligations on time.
Moving forward with the program, we now invite Captain Richa Sharma Katyal ma'am, Principal, Salwan Public School, Mayur Vihar, to provide us with details about the Desh Aur Hum 3.0 competitions, including event formats, activities, timelines, and registration procedures. Thank you.
Thank you, children. Pranam, everyone. I'll quote the words of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Real education enhances the dignity of a human being and increases his or her self-respect. If only the real sense of education could be realized by each individual and carried forward in every field of human activity, the world would be so much a better place to live in, unquote. This resonates with our theme of not giving you education only about learning of facts, figures, information, but also training your mind, your values, your ethics, and your sense of responsibility to become a reasonably understandable situation of income tax and to become responsible citizens of this country. Before I come to the details about this competition, let me first of all express our profound gratitude to Dr. Ruchi Seth, Director Principal, Lotus Valley International School, for hosting this orientation in your beautiful and sprawling campus. The very first day when I came to meet ma'am and I expressed this desire that it should be held in the school, the very willing response had come, anything for the nation. That was so encouraging. So we thank you, ma'am, for taking you, your children, and your entire team on board for this. We also pay regards to all the dignitaries from the NADT Regional Campus Delhi, Shri Mahesha sir, Srimati Seema Dhankar ma'am, the entire NADT team here and sitting in the headquarters working towards this cause, all the principals, the vice principals, the teachers, and the students who are present here. Thank you for being here in large number. It's such a delight to see and address a house full. A huge auditorium, I think more than 600 capacity is what we've been told, and it's a near house full hall. It's such a pleasure to be standing here and giving you what I have come here to disperse. So before we move on, Mahesha sir as well as Paramjit Khanna sir have already told you about our mission. It's not to educate you only with information. It is to ignite the mind, the heart, the soul within each and every one of you towards the cause. So that today you know your responsibilities and enjoy your luxuries and leisures tomorrow legitimately. I'll come to the program. The very fact that we have more than 50 schools present here and more than 20 online tells us about the commitment that you have and your school leaders have shown in this entire mission. So once again, before I come to the details of this competition, once again, congratulating each and every one of you who have committed to this cause and all of you who are all set to be the crusaders of change and the messengers of this movement. Can I have the next slide? Mahesha sir just told you that we have almost 400 students who are already on schools who are already on board with us. 380 some numbers of schools today and counting. And we intend going strong and strong. What they say, हम चले थे अपने घर से, लोग साथ जुड़ते गए और काफिला बढ़ता गया. So this we are sure that more than 400 is just a number. We're going to surpass it very soon. The various venues of orientation, today is the 6th orientation in the row and 3 more to go. One at Springdale's tomorrow, one at the Doon School on the 9th, that's this Friday. And then on Monday, we have the West and the South Delhi orientation, which will take place in the Dwarka School, Mount Carmel, Dwarka. We are looking at Not only orientations here, we are also tapping schools. Besides those who can attend here online, offline, there are those who attend the same orientations online with us. So thank you to all those who joined us online today. And we have so many of them who may not have been attending, but they are a part of this from their previous year's experience and through our words, which are spreading. And so we ensure that we will be reaching the number that we started with. Next slide. You have a series of competitions in this competition with the theme Sachet Bharat, Samriddh Bharat. Sachet means aware and conscious. Samriddh means prosperity, progressive. So through you all, we intend creating a Sachet and Samriddh Bharat for us to continue our legacy untethered and unfaltered. We have curated, next slide, we have curated 8 competitions. They're very thoughtfully curated so that you can understand it's not only about competitions. Yes, the comfort zone is that you do not have to go out of your schools to perform anywhere. All of these competitions are online competitions, which you can do within your schools, within your homes, sitting in your classrooms, your labs, in the comfort of your teacher's guidance. And then you have to upload these when the time for that is 31st of August. I shall touch upon it later. So they're well curated 8 online competitions which are meant to give you financial literacy, to incite student advocacy, and to let you know about your fiscal responsibilities. Next slide. We have 4 of them in this and 4 of the competitions on this page. I'll touch upon them individually, each one of them. So let's go to the next slide, please. The steps to participate. Most of you who are here in this auditorium, I think, have already registered. We see the names of so many of you in the link of registration. Those of you who have joined us for the orientation today but have not yet registered, the last date for registration is the 10th of August. And those who have registered and already started preparing for the competitions, 31st August is the deadline for uploading all your entries. Let's go to the next slide. Let's dwell upon a few instructions. You have the theme as told to you, Sachet Bharat, Samriddh Bharat. So all the entries, all the competitions are revolving around this theme. So we urge you all also to have your preparations and your theme concepts revolving around Sachet Bharat, Samriddh Bharat. Do not deviate from the main core theme. Of course, you have the liberty to exercise whatever freedom you want to while you're preparing your entries. You can participate in either few or all the events. The beauty would be that if you are participating in all, then you are eligible for the rolling trophy, which is lying with Lotus Valley International Gurugram right now. And it's for anybody's take hereafter. One of you sitting here, one school, we urge that we have it from the Noida region, from the Delhi NCR region. So let's see who comes out the best and who takes this trophy from Lotus Valley. Or will it go from Lotus Valley Gurugram to Lotus Valley Noida? Or will it go to any other school? Let's see. Let's see your entries and see how we go about this. All the entries that you have to upload, I've just told you, the last date is 31st of August and the registrations by 10th of August. You must ensure that, or since everything is online, please ensure that once you are giving your entries, uploading them, you are ensuring accessibility to all concerned. It should so happen that you've uploaded, but it's not accessible. So if the judges are trying to reach out to you and are not able to reach out, you shouldn't lose out on this small part of negligence. So make sure that accessibility should be given to all concerned. I mean, wherever possible, when you see, you ensure that everyone gets full access so that you have full right to seeing your entry as one of the probable contenders. Submissions. Most of these are either Hindi or English or bilingual. I'll touch them one by one when we come later. Needless to say, we have a lot of technology. We keep urging you to use technology, and before we urge you, you are already using a lot of technology in everything that you do. However, make sure whatever you're doing is your original entry. Do not bank upon chat GPTs or any other online platforms available to you to prepare your entries. Let it be original, let it be yours. Because when you do that, then the ethics come into being, which has been spoken by our seniors just a while back. Ethically, logically, and proudly, then the prizes would be yours. When you are uploading your entries, make sure that the school's name is not revealed. This is to facilitate our judges to give an unbiased opinion, an unbiased judgment. So make sure that you are concealing the identity of the school when you are uploading the entries. The results will be announced, and the felicitation ceremony will take place somewhere around the 3rd week of September. The winning schools will be informed. I shall touch upon the winners area a little later. Next slide, please. So the first of its kind is the poster making. Use illustrations to show the different services of the tax regulations and the tax services and how things are funded by taxes. This is in 2 categories. One is for the students of classes 6th and 7th, and the other for the students of classes 8th and 9th. For each of these categories, the topics have been given separately. The first category, either in Hindi or in English, you could create a poster on Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat and Atmanirbhar Bharat. This is not anything new. You have been used to doing these activities since many years now. So you just have to convert it into a poster towards taxation in this case. For the category 2, for the students of classes 8th and 9th, it is taxes, the bedrock of a strong nation. Kar, ek mazboot rashtra ka aadhar. Youth and taxes, building a responsible future. Yuva aur kar, ek zimmedar bhavishya ka nirman. So once again, as it is being suggested, the entries could be in either Hindi or in English. It is an individual entry category. You are not to make it as a group entry. This is for individuals. Any color or any medium can be used. There is no embargo on what color scheme, what medium you have to use. Anything is, whatever freely you can creatively put across is what you can do. Of course, you have to see that the maximum size of your file is not more than 5 MB, that's megabytes. And needless to say, you will have some rubrics for judging the entries, which are the theme, the clarity, and how much visual impact your entry has is what it will be. Next. Coming to the AdMat show. Advertisements have a way of reaching out to the people, maybe as nothing else. If you remember, there is this ad from the Cadbury's Dairy Milk ad of the cricket stadium. That entire advertisement actually changed the business model of Cadbury's. They are the ones which took the entire nation by storm, and then their business model just took an upward lift. So that's the influence of advertisements. So create an advertisement, make sure that you engage and capture the audience through your creative ads. And if the NADT regional campus team finds it good enough, for all you know, your advertisement might be used for their campaigns. Not going too much in details, the topics are there with you. And we have the classes, eligibility for the students of classes 8 to 10th, language, Hindi or English. This is a group event, so you can have a team of 4 students is what we want for this. Put it up in an MP4 format and make sure that you are uploading it through your Google Drive link. Or maybe you can upload the MP4 format also. Creativity, message clarity, and the audience engagement is what the rubrics will be laid upon. Next slide, please. Tax education through gaming. It's surely going to be a fun way of learning and emanating learning towards to others, those who use this as a game. So this entry is an individual entry. You used to playing a lot of games, video games, online games. Now create a game and make sure this revolves around the theme. And so this is, again, as an individual, bag the award by educating through an interactive game. You for uploading this, you must share the screen recording. That's important. You must share the screen recording, or you could also give the publish link, and also you could otherwise upload the game link. So whatever comes to you, you can make use of any of these and make sure that you are creatively engaging the users and making a good, viable game towards taxation. Next slide. Podcast making. A lot of learning takes place through podcasts these days. Can be individual, can be a team of two. Create a podcast. Make sure that what you want to say or teach people about the tax regulations and the taxation services, you are able to put it across intelligently and creatively through your podcast. Not more than 4 to 5 minutes, limited within the time limit. It's important to adhere to the guidelines so as to avoid the risk of being disqualified. A team of 1 or 2 participants, as I just told you, it can also be either in English or in Hindi, and it can be bilingual. Avoid slangs, avoid English. Use pure language. You could use either or both. Again, upload it in the MP3 format, or you could also upload an AVI file. Next. Next slide, please. Nukkad Natak. Over the last 2 seasons, we've seen if there's something very popular as a competition, that's Nukkad Natak. Now, this is one such thing where you can spread your message on social issues, this time on taxation. And Nukkad Natak, the one which is the best Nukkad Natak, will be invited to perform in the felicitation ceremony. So let's make use of this most popular way of reaching out to people, best way for student advocacy. A team of 5 to 10 students of classes 8 to 11. Actually, it is 9th to 11th. It can be changed as 9th to 11th. Earlier it was 8th, it has been changed to 9th and to 11th. So make sure that you find yourself presenting on the stage during the felicitation ceremony. Give your thoughts and your ideas a voice through theatrical expressions. Next, please. Reel making, the modern contemporary way of reaching out to people and creating some consumption habits, is what we see on the social media every now and then. So this time, not just for entertainment, do it with an educational purpose. So let's see you making a good reel on the topics of youth and taxes, building a happier future, filing taxes in the digital area, and taxation transparency for a stress-free life. When we say stress-free life, we know that paying taxes will give you a seamless sleep without any worries. So towards ethics, towards values, towards a responsible nation, let's prepare this reel which reaches out to millions. 60 to 90 minutes is all that we want from you, nothing more than this. And it is given to you in your brochures. What is the criteria for what are the rubrics and the criteria for judgment, and also how you are to upload this in which format. Next one. App development to all our tech geeks and the techies around. So go ahead and use the best of technology that you wish to and make an app on tax calculation and planning. Mahesh sir has just now told you how simplified the system of taxation is. Maybe some of you do not know the nitty-gritties of taxation. Maybe you really need to know a little more. So all these competitions are a way of teaching you the in-depth, the insights about the regulations, planning, calculations. Aim is save taxes legitimately. You have so many provisions of doing that. Do not look for evading taxes. Look for legitimate ways of saving taxes and have an app which reaches out to the others for the same. Again, this has to be as a .apk file, or you could also do your screen recording through your Google Drive link as you can upload. Next slide, please. Are the discussions already on? I hear a lot of discussion here from the auditorium, so I believe you're already discussing your entries. Poetry, giving words to your thoughts, creative expression, poetry on any of the three themes that you see. The age group again is from 6 to 12. It's a wide age group. You could come across either a self-created poem in Hindi or in English or even bilingual, and you could upload it with a maximum size of 100 megabytes through your Google Drive. Give way to your original thoughts. Do not pick it up from anywhere, and then you will be invited. The winner will be invited to the felicitation ceremony and will be reciting their winning poem there. Next slide, please. So this was about the 8 competitions, online competitions. Should you have any doubts, you could ask. The last date to register, we are reiterating, is 10th of August, and the last date of accepting your entries is the 31st of August of this year. Next slide. Now let's see what you have these some phone numbers, some mail IDs through which you could come across. Can we go over to the winner slide, please? So what do you have in store as winners? The last 2 sessions, besides the routine certificates and other things that you get when you win competitions, the winners of the last 2 sessions were taken to the Parliament House. And this year also we're planning the same, and we're hoping to take you to the new Parliament House, along with giving you some Delhi darshan, especially for those who will be outstationed and those who have not yet visited Delhi. Maybe staying in Delhi and NCR you may not have gone through. So maybe you will get a chance. If you're a winning school, you could get the chance to do that. Next slide. Besides this, we have a few things for the winning schools. So this is the new Parliament House, you can see. So maybe you will have a chance to visit there. Next. And this visit is not only for the students, it's for the principals of the host and the winning schools as well. I'll take a little time to discuss something about the Heartfulness Center here, because that's also a part of the winners package. Heartfulness Education Trust is an organization which deals with making you aware of yourself through your inner strengths. They carry out a lot of programs which give you mindful thinking, some mindful moments. They teach you things the heartful way to increase your brain, to challenge your brain and to give it a better form. They also give you the through Inspire programs, which is a teacher's program. I'll not talk about Brighter Minds just now. I'll show you a video hereafter and you can see. And Inspire is a teacher's training program, which the Heartfulness Center, the representatives, they do with the schools, teachers, and they teach them the mindful ways so as to live a stress-free life and to have a mindful and a heartful life, to get the best and draw the best out of their profession. Now, Salwan Education Trust and many other private schools, institutions, as well as the Delhi government schools are associated with the Heartfulness Education Trust. Their the main center is on the outskirts of Hyderabad, a place called Kana Shantivanam. A beautiful spiritual retreat is what you see there, and when you visit there, a serene and a spiritual environment which gives all anything that a mind which is in the hustle and bustle of everyday's stresses goes and relaxes there, and they teach you many ways of overcoming your stress. Help program, this Helpfulness Experience Life's Potential program is especially for the students of classes 11th and 12th, so that you can prepare stress-free for your exams. And should you have any kind of a problem, they help you out with this. At our Salwan schools, we have done all these programs. And these programs have helped our students and teachers a lot. A Brighter Minds program is what I would like to show you a video of. This program it develops the brain component and the brain sharpens the brain. We can have a video. Students of classes 4th upwards can be a part of this Brighter Minds program. And When we had gone to Kana, we saw some students who've been doing this program blindfolded. If I just pick up a ball of a particular color and I ask them what color, they are blindfolded through their brighter program learning. They will just tell me whether it is pink or blue or any other color that I'm holding. So that's the beauty of this program. That's how it channelizes your minds and gets you to more intelligent and promptness and spontaneity. So let's have a quick glimpse at the Brighter Minds video.
We all want the best for our children so that they can excel in life. We admit them to the best schools, encourage them to play sports, and enroll them in extracurricular activities. But the world around us is becoming increasingly complex. The number of distractions is increasing, and the stress levels in our children are rising. Their attention spans are decreasing, and their minds are becoming restless. There is too much to do in too little time. How can we help them deal with life and realize their true potential? The answer lies hidden inside the mind of every child, which is not yet completely used to its fullest capability. Brighter Minds program unlocks the hidden potential of your child and makes them future ready. It uses the principle of enhancing the capacity of the brain of your child while it is still developing and receptive to learning. It brings about a fine balance between the logical, analytical, holistic, creative, and intuitive processes of the brain of your child. At Brighter Minds, the capacity of the brain is enhanced using proven and well-researched methodology that includes unique brain exercises for sharpening cognitive retention, sensory augmentation through acoustic vibrations, and relaxation techniques that calm the mind and raise the potential of your child. All this helps your child in developing deeper observational skills, enhancing the ability to stay focused with increased attention time spans, and inspiring creativity, helping your child in problem solving and staying ahead. It increases self-confidence and gives your child the power of intuition, helping your child in dealing with stressful, demanding environments and complex situations. It creates a habit of excellence in thought and action, helping children impart true human values and achieve their fullest potential. Brighter Minds makes your child ready for the future. Give your child the right gift. Brighter Minds. A gift for a lifetime.
So why am I talking about this? Actually, what they do is not by magic. What they do is simply magical. Now, for the winner schools, the students, the teachers, the Heartfulness Foundation will be too happy to visit your schools and take you on board for these learnings, even for the host schools. And the cherry on the cake is that all the principals of the winner schools and the orientation partners will get an opportunity to visit Kanha Shantivanam at Hyderabad. So with this, I finish with the orientation or the details. And I'll take a cue from what I saw as a performance here on the stage. मुट्ठी में जो कुछ सपने लेकर हम चले थे, आइए उन्हें आधार बनाएं, साथ मिलकर सबका साथ, सबका विकास, चलिए कुछ कर जाएं, कुछ कर जाएं. Thank you all. Have a nice day ahead. Jai Hind. Should you have any questions on the competitions or any questions about the taxation, if you wish to understand, our experts here would be too happy to let you know about taxation, and I'm happy to answer any questions on the competition per se. Any of you, if you have anything to ask. So it seems all of you are good to go, all set. I don't see any one of you have a question. Yes, please.
Thank you. Ma'am, I just wanted to ask that a school,
if one school can have more than 2 or 3 entries, or it is just one entry?
Every school will have one entry. It is very clearly given in your the brochures. One entry per school.
Okay, ma'am.
Either all or some of the events you can participate in.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So one team basically. It's not one team, it is one team per event or a competition, right? Any other query? Yes.
Ma'am, my question is regarding taxes. Ma'am, I want to ask what are the key changes in the new regulations
Yes,
in the
just
new
wait. Let
budget?
sir come here on stage, then he'll be there to answer your query.
Yes, please.
Sir, I wanted to ask what are the key changes in the new budget?
Key changes in the new budget?
The recent budget.
Yeah. So in the new budget, we are going for simplification. That is one, because that is the crux of the matter, that the government wants to simplify, especially for individuals, salaried individuals, and taxpayers who have very specific sources of income. That is number one. We have also changed capital gains tax, because that is also towards the simplification, because earlier we used to have three categories: assets which are held for 12 months or more, 24 months or more, or 36 months or more. So we have reduced the holding period and increased a little bit of tax, because earlier it used to be in some cases, and we have reduced for the real estate sector where the tax was 20%. Now we have reduced it to 12.5%, and also removed the indexation benefit. So the indexation benefit before 2001, if you buy a property after 2001, you will not get the indexation benefit. So all these provisions are towards the simplification of the Income Tax Act, so that, but what we are trying to do is we are trying to reduce the deductions and exemptions from incomes, and we want to make it straightforward. We have also increased the standard deduction for salaried employees and tax rates for the new tax regime. So now in this year, 72% returns up to 31st July are filed in the new tax regime. So new tax regime is very few deductions or exemptions and very simplified scheme of taxation, wherein the tax rates are far lower. So these are some of the changes which would pertain to the individuals. A lot of changes for the businesses and all. So that's what are the changes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please.
So my question is that how does the complexity of the Indian tax system affect compliance rates and administrative costs, and what reforms could enhance simplicity and fairness?
Yes, absolutely, bang on, because that's what we are doing is we are simplifying the tax laws. We want to reduce the compliance burden. So we have reduced a lot of TDS rates this year, because there were a lot of taxes being deducted at source. We have merged TCS and TDS so that you get the credit in whatever taxes you pay. So we understand that if you make it a complex law, then there is a lot of compliance cost as well as the administrative cost. And the government always sees the cost benefit analysis. So what we do as a revenue department, my objective is not to only collect the taxes. So whenever we bring anything new or we change the law, we see the compliance burden on the taxpayers. So we try and understand as to, by incorporating this particular provision, how the taxpayers are inconvenienced in terms of the compliance, in terms of the disclosures, in terms of the filing of returns. So there is a constant endeavor by the Government of India. And very significant step in this direction is, of course, the new tax regime, where the tax rates are lower and no deductions. So what happens is it's a straightforward calculation of tax. If you have so much income, so much tax. If you have so much income, so much tax. So there are no ATC deductions or ATD deductions and all of that. And you pay straight tax. So it's a less tax. And the Honorable Finance Minister has announced that we are coming out with a new tax law within 6 months. So therein, all these issues which are troubling the taxpayers will go to taxpayers. We have their feedbacks in place. And so we'll form, new tax law is going to be, to be drafted soon by the government of India, by the income tax department, which would do away with all this. So motto is straight tax rates, less tax deductions. Because India being a developing country, sometimes you have to give the tax incentives to attract capital investment, especially to backward areas or other areas where you generally don't get the investments. But now the government objective is to less the deductions or exemptions, reduce all these and go for a straight taxation rates. So that is easy to understand and implement. So there won't be any compliance burdens for the taxpayers, as well as it will be easy for the department. So there won't be much administrative cost as well. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please.
So my question is related to this year's budget.
Yes.
So India is a developing nation with a large youth population. In the budget of 2024 and 25, India has committed close to 4.5 lakh crores for defense, while for education and health only 2.1 lakh crores. So, should the government spending on defense be decreased marginally and the spending on skill development and education be increased, or should should the current budget model be followed in the future budgets?
No, see, as a developing country, we understand that we are surrounded by neighbors, right? So one of the prime objective is also the defense of the country. We all understand as to what is happening on the borders of India. You saw yesterday what happened in Bangladesh. So we are very cautious and very careful about the situation with the neighbors. So defense cannot be ignored, but we have not increased the defense budget like we used to do earlier. And in this year's focus, as I have already told you, because of the young India, young population, on skilling India, the internship programs, education. So we are increasing manifold these budgets. If you see last 10 years of the government funding for the education and all that, there is a tremendous increase in the way we look forward to the country. And this year's flagship is that internship scheme wherein the government is constituting a task force as to how to implement. Because the idea is to skill India so that we become a vibrant workforce and the whole world is looking at us. Because the best brain, you see, the top 10 biggest multinational corporations who are heading, most of them are headed by Indians. Because we have the best brains, we have the best institutions like IITs and IIMs and AIMS, the world-class institutions we have. So in last 5 years, if you see, we have announced so many because there was only one IIM earlier. Now in every part of India, we want to have IIMs, we want to have IITs, we want to have, so there is a lot of allocation to these sectors in the times to come. And that's why we want you all to be engaged with us in this mission so that we get more and more taxes and more money can go to these education and skilling and setting up the world-class institutions. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Please pass on the mic there.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is, in the recent budget for financial year 24-25, the indexation benefit was withdrawn. However, it might discourage honest tax paying. Why was that?
Can you come back again? What exactly is your question, please?
My question was that in the recent budget, indexation benefit was withdrawn. However, it might discourage honest tax paying.
How will it discourage honest taxpayers?
Sir, because
See, I'll tell you what is indexation benefit and how it helps. So we have brought in a cutoff of 2001, right? So if you have bought a property before that time, you will get the indexation benefit. That is number one. Now, number two is After 2001, if you bought a property, you will not be entitled for the indexation benefit, right? Why? Because first of all, we have reduced the rate of taxation from 20% to 12.5%. So that is one. So we are encouraging people, we are reducing the tax rate. That is number one. Number two, what happens as a country? What is the objective or what is the motto of the government? We want long-term funds in the development in various sectors. We don't want smart money. I hope you understand what is smart money, the quick money we call it, like share market. You can invest today, you can take out tomorrow. But if you do FDI, which is a foreign direct investment, or you invest in a formation of a company or setting up of a company, you cannot take away that money easily. So we want to discourage speculative activities. So what was happening was that because of the booming real estate sector, so all those moneyed people, they used to buy properties and sell just after 2 years or 3 years, getting a benefit of long-term capital gain and indexation as well. We don't want that to happen. We want people to hold properties for their living. We want people to invest for a longer period. So there is always a problem in the fast money or quick money, we call it, and the long-term investment. So we don't want to encourage people this kind of thing. That is one. And if you see the benefit, because we have reduced the tax rate, there won't be much impact on this. It won't be so difficult. It's not that the honest taxpayers are not going to come and pay taxes. Yeah, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have a question on the behalf of all the students.
Yes.
Many students are now in that era of moving ahead in entrepreneurship and startups. So, what are the new regime and the new schemes for the children and the youth of the country that would benefit them in terms of taxation and growth in future?
Absolutely, ma'am. This is what exactly I was coming to. So we have removed that startup tax, wherein if somebody is investing at a premium in your company, that difference between the premium and the fair market value was taxable. We have removed that. So startup tax has gone, which was introduced in 14. We are encouraging people to become entrepreneurs, to start their own businesses. And for that, there are lots and lots of incentives in the act. And we'll come out with more and more incentives in the times to come. That is the vision of the government. We want to make India an entrepreneur country. It is always said that India is the office of the world because we are the best in the service sector. But now with these PLI schemes of Make in India, we are also focused, like Apple has come to India, the Boeing is coming to India, the technologies are coming to India, semiconductor industry is being set up in India. So this Make in India is a big change in the focus of the government. And we want to make India an entrepreneur. And that's why we are discouraging speculative activities. And that's why if you see why the taxes are being raised, because if you see the SEBI chairman's statement or the study by the SEBI, 8 out of 10 investors lose money in F&O trades. They lose money in speculative and intraday trades. They lose money. We don't want people to be encouraged by giving them concessions in the tax rate. Because we know that people are not going to make money and these speculative activities are not going to help the economy. So the focus is on Make in India. Make India a developed and self-sustained economy. So there are a lot of incentives like startups and all. And India is going to be the startup capital of the world, the way things are happening, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Mike, please, Mike.
Now, I was I'm not very clear if I'm going to put the question the right way, so please excuse me for my ignorance. But you said we have changed the indexation year to 2021. So any property purchased before 2021.
2001, ma'am.
2001,
Yes,
sorry,
ma'am.
2001. So any property purchased before that,
Yes.
we get the benefit of no capital gains after a certain time, I think 7 years or something. Am I right?
No, no, you pay the capital gains tax, but you are entitled for the indexation benefit.
Yeah.
So all ancestral properties, say if I inherit a property long back,
Yes.
so then there is a loss because I'm inheriting that property. And if I'm not allowed the indexation benefit, then I may land up paying more taxes. So for those kind of properties, there is an exception carved out in the act.
So is it only applicable to inherited properties, or
No, no, ma'am.
suppose I have bought a property long time back?
Yes, ma'am.
So as a consumer, I'm investing my money just like I would in shares or debentures or anything else.
Yes.
If I invest in a property, why should I not get the benefit of what I used to get earlier because of the change in the law?
Ma'am, absolutely. That's what exactly is the point of
I
the...
understand that you're saying it should not be speculative.
Yes.
You know, you
So
buy and sell,
if
buy
you
and
have-
sell.
if
But
you're-
even that, sorry to say, I mean, I'm just talking as a layman.
Ma'am.
If I feel comfortable not investing my money in shares and debentures or any other policies, but I feel more comfortable investing in property, and I buy and sell the property, why am I not supposed to do that? The question arises in my mind.
If you are investing for a long period, if you have bought a property before 2001, you are entitled for the indexation benefit. It's not been taken away.
But
So-
after 2001?
2000, if it is bought after 2001, then only, ma'am. But then there is a reduced taxation rate.
Okay.
Because all long-term capital gains tax is now brought down to 12.5 from 20%.
From 40%, that's
Yeah.
right.
So
I missed that point.
that is one, ma'am. The other point is you should hold it for a long time if it is an
Yes.
investment. But if what I'm doing is I'm buying property, selling after 3 years or 4 years, then I am creating a unnecessary market for that property, and property prices are going up,
Unnecessarily getting inflated.
unnecessarily getting jacked up. So government is facing a problem because we are a country where a lot of people do not have a roof. So we want to build houses for them, ma'am. So we want the property prices to be, we don't want to have speculative activities. Prime, yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Better give it to him, please. Yeah, beta, this side.
Sir, standing there, just give me.
Sir, I have questions related to the short-term capital gain and long-term capital gain. And if I talk about on the 23rd of the July, the new budget has come, and the Nirmala Sitharaman has told about the share market, some changes in the tax rate is short-term capital gain has increased to 10 to 20%, and long-term capital gain 20 decreased to 20 to 12.5%. And recently you have said that some changes are applied in the tax rate because of the simplification of tax rate. But after the purchasing the property, any property 2021, and indexation has been removed, and taxation, the tax rate, long-term capital gain 20% decreased to the 12.5%.
Yes.
So how is it simplify? Because if we calculate the 20% and 12%, the amount of the calculation tax will be increased. Yeah, tax will be more bearable. Every property holder will pay more tax according to 12.5%.
I'll explain as to how it is simplification. So what was happening? There are 3 categories of assets. If you see the long-term capital gains provisions. So one is the listed securities where we have 12 months period. Then we have this land and building and all those assets. And the third category is gold and other assets, right? And their holding periods were also different. 12 mahina, 24 months, 36 months, right? Tax rates were different. If you see unlisted पे कुछ और था, listed पे कुछ और था, land पे कुछ और था, gold पे tax rating. Now we have made all capital gains tax at 12.5%. Is it not simplification? If I'm a chartered accountant, I'm a qualified person in accountancy, I'll understand. For a layman, he knows कि whatever class of asset he sells, he has to pay 12.5%. That's all. उसको ये नहीं देखना है कि और ये listed है क्या, unlisted है तो फिर इसका ज्यादा rate होगा. Financial asset नहीं है, आपका land building है तो 20% tax होगा. Holding period अलग होगा. Now we have remove that. So it's a simplification of the rate. अब आपका कोई भी लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल एसेट है, आपका 12.5% टैक्स है. आपका शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल एसेट है 20% टैक्स. पहले 30% था, किसी में इतना था. So there were different categories, different class of assets, different holding periods and different tax rates pertaining to that particular asset. Now that is no more. It's a one capital gains tax rate for all class of assets. So is it not simplification for a layman? कि भाई एक रेट हमको देना, आज हम इतने बेचेंगे, हमको इतना टैक्स देना.
Yeah, I do.
What is this?
I do agree with your statement that
Yes.
simplification 12.5.
Yes.
But if we talk about only the property, after the purchasing the property after the 2001, and if any person sell the property into 2013, so he has to pay the more taxes, ना?
देखिए, आइडिया ये नहीं है कि आपको ज्यादा टैक्स दे. आप टैक्स किस में से दे रहे हैं? गेन में से टैक्स दे रहे हैं ना. लॉस में तो मांग नहीं रहे हैं हम आपको. If you are not earning, we are not asking you to pay the taxes, na?
Yes, sir.
The point is, how do you simplify the law? How do you make one rate? How do you make people understand? Because we are talking with 140 crores population. How would they understand कि कैसे टैक्स देना है, क्या रेट है? उनको बोलो कि अब if I start explaining कि आपका listed है, आपको इतना देना पड़ेगा, unlisted आपको इतना देना पड़ेगा, land building है, तो वो बोलेंगे कि why this nonsense? Why not one rate, one holding period, right? So it's a simplification.
Sir, if I may just request you to wind it up, because children have to get back to school.
I understand.
On time to
I
catch the
understand,
school
ma'am.
bus.
Completely, ma'am.
Yeah. And you may like to give me 5 minutes to at least thank you all.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
So just one more word. All the schools who have not yet registered, please register. The links are there with you. They are also on the registration desk in the school registration desk today. Those who have registered can join through the WhatsApp groups, and wishing you all happy learning, happy preparing, and happy winning. All the best.
Thank you, sir and ma'am, for giving us all the necessary details about the inter-school competitions and answering all our questions.
It is
Hello,
now.
children. Can we please have you sit down for 2 minutes more? It's impolite, and we've been talking about mindfulness. Please sit down. Let's have a show of ethics here. Thank you. Please sit down.
It is now our distinct pleasure to invite Dr. Ruchi Seth, ma'am, Director Principal of Lotus Valley International School, Noida, to propose the vote of thanks. Ma'am has been an integral part of this event, and her support and guidance have been invaluable.
So as I said, I'm going to take only 2 minutes and just thank everybody for giving us this opportunity, giving us Lotus Valley International School, Noida, the opportunity of being a part of this great national mission. I'd like to first of all thank all the dignitaries of NADT, Shri Mahesh Shah, Internal Revenue Service, Principal Additional Director, National Academy of Direct Taxes, Regional Center, Delhi. Sushri Seema Dhankarji, Additional Director of Income Tax, National Academy of Direct Taxes, Regional Center, Delhi. Shri Sunil Gaur, Assistant Additional Director of Income Tax, NADT, Delhi, Regional Center, Delhi. Sushri Ms. Kiran Anand, also Assistant Additional Director of Income Tax, NADT, MD Shri Sahrul Hassan Seher, IT Inspector, NADT. Of course, the collaborators who played a major role, that is the Salwan Educational Trust. I would like to thank Shri Sushil Dutt Salwan in absentia. The chairman couldn't make it, but I think his heart is in this program, and that's why they have collaborated. Oh, you're online. Thank you, sir. I was hoping to meet you because I've heard so much about you, but maybe some other day when you're a little free. Thank you for being online and being with us. Shri Paramjit Khanna, Secretary, Salwan Education Trust. And of course, Captain Richa Sharma Katyal, whom you all met, principal of Salwan Public School, who told you all about the competitions. I'd also like to thank the principals who are with us. Ms. Sonia Verma, Sushri Sonia Verma, K.R. Mangalam School, principal of K.R. Mangalam, Greater Noida. Principal Ms. Reena Gupta of CLH School, and Ms. Krishna Sen, principal of K.R. Mangalam, Knowledge Park. I also want to convey my heartfelt thanks to all the 56 schools who are present here, the students and the teachers. I hope you made good sense of it. I hope you're from the Commerce Department, all of you, because that's when everything will truly register. But even if you aren't, the way everything has been explained, I think it's been done so lucidly by Mahesha ji and by Mr. Paramjit, Shri Paramjit Khanna ji, that I don't think we could have missed a point. So I'm really glad that we are a part of this mission, and I would urge each one of you, to not limit this to yourselves, but take it further into your homes, talk to your parents about it, to your friends. And if the teachers are here, maybe at assembly or any other fora, you can talk about it, about how you can be change makers in this era of our nation rising together. So हमें सचेत करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, और हम ये वचन देते हैं कि हम समृद्ध भारत बनने के लिए हम सब अपनी आवाज उठाएंगे और जो भी करना है कर दिखाएंगे. I want to quote JFK Kennedy. He said, one voice can change a room. One room can change a city, a state. One state can change a city, and one city can change a nation. And you want to take it further? One nation can change the world. You are the young people, as has already been said by our compeers. Margaret, they quoted the social anthropologist who said, never doubt that a small band of young people can change the world. It is, in fact, the only thing that can change the world. So be that band of young people, be that lone voice, and make sure that our tax base in India increases so that we have a Samriddh Bharat. You know, 2047 is PM Modi's vision of making this country, our beautiful country, the Vishwa Guru. So, and 2047 is not very far away. You will be in the workforce at that time. You will be the one who will be paying the taxes. So what you're learning here today is incredibly important, that you not only just implement it in your own lives, but you can start very much today. Let me give you a little small example. We all, in all the schools here, we are all progressive schools. We all have holistic learning in our schools. And holistic learning, as Richa ma'am rightly pointed out, is not limited to your textbooks and what you learn as subjects in your classroom. This is one of the projects of holistic learning. This is beyond the textbooks. So we teach SDGs right from class nursery. And there was this parent who came to me and said, you know, आपने मैम लाइफ बड़ी मुश्किल कर दी है. मैंने कहा क्या हुआ? He says, my little daughter in nursery, when I take her for swimming, she refuses to have a shower. She carries a little plastic bucket and she says, I will only use this much water to have a shower after I swim. That little child has made a difference in her family, made her parents conscious. And you can be like her. You can be better than her because you're more conscious. I also want to say one more thing. You're mindful, you're conscious. I also want to quote Eckhart Tolle, the German philosopher, who said that if you have to raise the consciousness of the people, then start with one person. You raise the consciousness, your own consciousness. And if each one of you raises the consciousness of this whole hall will be raised when every child in the school, every teacher in the school, every person in the school raises their consciousness, the whole consciousness of the whole school will be raised, and so on, cities and nations. So be mindful of what you're doing. Get your parents to be mindful of what they are doing. Don't be casual. And be that lone voice that can make the change in the world. With that, I say Jai Hind, and once again, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
As we draw our event to a close, we want to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has made Desh Aur Hum 3.0 a remarkable success.
We hope today's event has sparked new ideas and inspired you to take meaningful action for the betterment of our nation.
अंत में कार्यक्रम की समाप्ति डॉक्टर एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम के सुविचार के साथ करना चाहूंगा. हमारा भारत तभी प्रगतिशील होगा जब हमारी युवा पीढ़ी अपने सपनों को वास्तविकता में बदलने के लिए निरंतर प्रयास करेगी. आप सभी की उपस्थिति हेतु पुनः धन्यवाद.
We request all visiting teachers and students to kindly be seated at their respective places. Those who have not yet registered are requested to do so using the link or the QR code displayed on the screen. Additionally, to stay updated on important updates, schedules, and announcements, we request you to join the WhatsApp group using the link or the QR code on the screen. We request all visiting teachers and students to collect their refreshments from the foyer area.
आपका दिन मंगलमय हो.